just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet.
Saying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Well, how are we doing this fine afternoon, evening, morning, depending on where you're at? You are listening to the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives, nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated. Coming to you live, as we always do, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. out here in the West Coast, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. We're glad to have you with us today. Hey, it's day 2 of the Democrat National Convention, and it's just becoming a comedy of errors, just one after the other. Of course, you would never know that by media accounts. It's the greatest thing. It's all the only thing that hasn't happened yet is the angelic choir has not ascended from heaven and set up on the stage and ordained and immaculated Hillary Clinton as the logical choice, because after all, she is a woman. Okay, the Virgin Mary hasn't come down and endorsed you yet, and that's about all that's left to happen here. But anyway, we're glad to have you with us. I've got Joe Hakos, my co-host. How you doing tonight, Joe?
I'm doing great, John. That sound you're hearing of glass breaking is just all the mirrors that are just being busted up because, well, Debbie Wasserman Schultz was looking into them, and of course they break.
She was what?
Well, she's just breaking mirrors.
Oh.
She's breaking mirrors. The glass ceiling was broke when she hit the magic number of delegates. Of course, in the rigged democratic process that they had with the super delegates, that everybody was the Bernie's people were all upset about Bernie and these emails that showed that the DNC was out rigging the primary system and everything else. Who doesn't seem to be really upset about it? Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, huh?
Well, I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm glad you mentioned both names here, Bernie Sanders and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now let's just use just a little bit of logic, okay? And any liberals listening to me, just a little bit of logic, okay? Just a little bit. That's all you need right now.
Jeez, you're asking a lot there, buddy.
Okay, I know. I might be asking a lot, but I just have faith that you just might have a little crack or crevice between all the crap rattling around in your head there, where something really just a little bit of reason here. Debbie Wasserman Schultz has screws up the DNC. For whatever reason, okay, we know that there was a conspiracy to knock Sanders out. The DNC emails get leaked. WikiLeaks is out there and promising to put more out there. Let's see. I'm hearing that they're going to wait for the real damaging stuff here on Thursday when Clinton's supposed to be giving her acceptance speech, and they're timing it that way. WikiLeaks said that's what we're going to do. So, anyway, but just a moment here. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who has denied any collaboration with the Clinton campaign, and the Clinton campaign, who has denied any collaboration with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, she gets fired and immediately is picked up as the honorary chairperson for the Clinton campaign. Now, just a little bit of logic here. It has to tell you that there was collusion and there was collaboration, and this is payback. And this is payback in the same way, Michelle Obama the other night tried to make a big deal about the fact that Hillary wasn't bitter, didn't pack up her bags and go home when she lost to Obama in 2008. Well, that was because this is payback. Okay,
she was going to get part of it. She was going to be put in a position, and she was going to be out front, and so her name wasn't forgotten.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And they did everything they could to fill in that void on her resume, a foreign policy experience, by making her Secretary of State and all that. Now, in the same light, this just hit me. Bernie Sanders out there for the better part of a year, just raising havoc over the corruption, the establishment, the corporations running everything, the top 1% beating up on the bottom 99%, and all the stuff that we've been hearing from this guy. Free education, free health care, free everything at the expense of the 1% that he claims owns everything in America. And the guy that wants all the corporations broken apart so that they're not too big, wants the banks completely nationalized and all this stuff. He gets up on the stage after finding out that there was a conspiracy. Here's guys like Donald Trump on the other side. Everything is rigged. Everything is rigged. Finds out, has proof and documentation that everything is rigged, and he takes on the position of FBI Director James Comey. Well, we shouldn't do anything about it. I got to tell you here, there's no doubt in my mind, I don't know how much they paid Bernie or what they promised him, but he got something.
Oh, he got plenty.
Yeah, he got something. He got something for this. And if he thinks it's, I got planks in the platform, I'm sorry, my friend, you are delusional and you have been deceived once again.
Yeah, if you think the platform thing is going to go anywhere, it's yeah, right.
Yeah, if you think for 1 second that Hillary is going to do anything to Wall Street or bankers or anybody else that has been her source of the $200 million income that she has acquired while she's been in public service, you are crazy, Bernie. Okay, it's not just the haircut anymore. You need to be the voice behind the newest Muppet doll. There's no doubt in my mind. I was thinking the other day when I was tied in with the Teamsters Union years ago when I worked up at Hubeline in Oxnard. And I think I may even relayed this story at one time or another here in the show somewhere along the line, where I ran for the Secretary Treasurer of the Teamsters Union up in Ventura County, and the operations manager of the company I worked for, huge company, Hubeline, huge company, and he came up to me one day and he said, "What's your price?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, what's your price? If you get elected, you're going to have to determine what your price is." And I said, I don't have a price. I was 30 years old. I was dumb and stupid. And I said, no, I'm doing this for principle. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. And he said, no, my friend, everybody's got a price. It's just a matter of what it is. And he said, I'm just telling you they're going to ask you that if you get elected. I'm not telling you to buy into it. I'm just telling you this is what's going to happen if you get elected. And he was a good friend of mine. He was a boss, but he was a very good friend of mine. And he was just always very honest with me about everything that was going on. So that's what I'm thinking about Bernie. I'm thinking, yeah, you got bought somehow. It may not have been money, but it's got to be something. And even if it's just the delusion that you've done something to bring America closer to quote unquote democratic socialism, then you've been robbed, my friend. You have been robbed.
Yeah, so much for your movement there, Bernie.
Yeah, and your followers know it better than you do.
Yeah. In fact, I was barely caught any of this today, but I saw that maybe his followers aren't in the convention hall as much as they used to be. No,
I heard some of them walked out, and this is a question I want to pose this to you, Joe. I want to get your take on this when we get back.
Okay.
Because it just kind of they were talking. Somebody on one of the news shows last night was talking to a Bernie Sanders supporter who said that she just could not bring herself to vote for Hillary.
Okay.
And the guy says, "Okay, does that mean you're going to go for Trump?" She says, "No, I'm going to go for Jill Stein." Now that triggered something in my head. Everybody's wondering where the Sanders people are going to end up if they don't vote for Hillary. I'm sure Trump will pick up some, but the question is, and I'll propose this to you, is where do you think the majority of these Sanders voters are going to go? Because I don't think the majority will go to Trump, and I know they won't go to Clinton. So, will Gary Johnson be the guy that benefits from this, or will this Jill Stein, or will it be Ralph Nader? Who will it be? that these Sanders supporters now feel as disenfranchised as we conservatives from the Republican Party. Where are they going to put their votes? And just speculation here. I'll ask you that when we get back, okay? We got to go to our first break here. We should have Audrey Russo checking in with us any moment also. So stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, and we're glad to have you with us this afternoon. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and joining us for her weekly segment with us right now, straight from New York, fresh off from Real Talk Radio, Audrey Russo. How are you doing today, Audrey?
Hey, John and Joe, how you doing?
All right. It sounds good. Your Skype sounds good, by the way.
Oh, good. Something sounds good in this heat. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we often reminisce about adventures in streaming on this show with all the technical problems. Anyway, the question I put before Joe just before the break was, I was listening last night to one of the news people out there. I forget who it was, but they were talking to some of the people at the DNC convention. And these were they belonged to the disenfranchised, disgruntled Sanders people. And so they were asking him, well, what are you going to do now? Now that that Sanders is basically sold out. And she said, well, I can't. She says, I can't vote for Hillary no matter what. And he said, well, are you going to vote for Trump? And she said, no, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein. And I know Jill Stein is probably one of these other 37 candidates that are out there that'll get, asterisk number of votes, like Lindsey Graham or something like that. So anyway,
so in finest area,
yeah, okay. On the ballot, all dressed up and nowhere to go, that kind of thing. It made me think. There are going to be a lot of people that are not going to vote for Hillary Clinton from the Sanders camp, but I don't believe that Trump is going to pull in a huge amount of these people. He may, but I think that there may be a lot of protest votes out there. And so the question is, where do you think the votes that don't go to Donald Trump and don't show up to vote for Hillary at all, where do you think they'll end up at?
I think we're going to see it's going to be split. Bottom line is she's not going to benefit from it. There are those that were the hardcore Bernie supporters can't stand her and may, just like the left, be vindictive and try to stick it to her. So some may want to stick it to her very badly and they'll vote for Trump. Some may not be, may vote, write in someone. They might write in Bernie even though he's not running any longer. But I think he's still, very few of the Bernie supporters are going to go with her. The only ones will be those that are not hardcore Bernie supporters. Right. They were just kind of, wanted to be in with the in crowd. That's it.
Yeah, and you would think at this point, really, the way I would want him to vote for, like this Jill Stein or even Gary Johnson, because that'll take votes away from Hillary.
Yeah, it won't take votes away from Trump. It'll take votes away from Hillary. And she how incredibly stupid can you be when the woman that had to step down from the DNC, right? Because she had colluded with Hillary, and then you make her one of your top people in your campaign. Are you an utter schmuck or what?
Yeah, well, you would think that's something Donald Trump might do.
Well, no, he wouldn't do that. See, you ha ha ha. But he's not. He is like a over 150 IQ. He's not a stupid guy. He may not be extremely articulate. Although I tell you the truth, I saw him at a press conference. He gave a press conference today, and I got to say he really did a stellar job. He really did. Yeah. I was surprised. Yeah. I really was.
Okay, well, let me get Joe's take on this, and then I want to come back to you about the Trump news conference today, because I just heard about 45 minutes ago. I haven't had a chance. Just that he threw some real zingers out there. But Joe, your take on where do you think the Sanders people are going to end up?
The Sanders people are going to end up. They're not going to vote for Hillary. And they're not going to vote for Trump. I don't see many of them voting for Trump. Although, if they realized that if they truly were listening to Bernie and his evaluation of the TPP, they might actually go for Trump because their positions are basically the same on that. They were both against it. But that, again, we're counting on them to actually be intelligent about things. So, and like Audrey said, so they don't go to Trump and they don't go to Clinton. Well, the only one that's hurting is Clinton.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, exactly. Because they weren't in the Trump camp in the first place. They weren't on our side. So they're going to vote for her.
Yeah.
They're going to vote if they're diehard Democrats. They weren't diehard Bernie supporters, but the Bernie supporters, they can't stand her. They feel that she really messed with them. She did collude with the head of, with the DNC. She did. So, it's clear. And they feel, and the left is all about feelings. Remember that. So they feel that they got cheated and they might want to stick it to her and say, they're not going to, the majority of them are not going to vote for her. They won't.
Now, in the same light, along this line, one of the things I floated at the very beginning of the show is is that because Sanders has gone so far out of his way, basically, I think he even one way he put it to his people, pretty please vote for Hillary.
I think he even wore a pantsuit that matched hers. So, yeah he went pretty far.
So the question is, and knowing here that...
An orange one, but anyway.
But knowing that Wasserman Schultz, to anybody with the IQ of seaweed, knows that Wasserman Schultz colluded with Hillary Clinton and vice versa. And Sanders, knowing this now, is up there standing up there, oh, yeah, we got to vote for Hillary because it's all about keeping Trump out. Do you think that Sanders was bought off somehow?
Yeah. Do you think so? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. To watch to see what kind of car he buys next. He was bought off by them. My gosh, what do you think that all those? No, those are billions that they stole through the Clinton Foundation. Where do you think that's going?
Well, I think here's my theory on this. I don't know that Sanders is like a money guy, but it would be like if he's been sold this bill of goods that he really affected the platform and he's really moving the party into that democratic socialism era and all this, that, and the other. And then once Hillary gets elected, she's not going after Wall Street. She's not going to go after corporate America.
She's supported by them, for goodness sakes.
And the only they want constitutional amendments, but they start out with 5. They're down to 2 now, and one is to overturn Citizens United, and then the other one is to make an equal pay amendment for women. Oh no, I know what it is. It's an extension of the Discrimination Act. We're going to make an amendment to the Constitution. It's unconstitutional to discriminate against women. Okay, so this
it's already covered in the Constitution. Okay,
and
people, I am sick and tired of this. Is the biggest bunch of BS I've ever heard. I'm a woman. That's BS. I just by the way, their rhetoric changed just slightly because it seems like women got a raise since the last time they said it. They said they were getting 77 cents on the dollar. Now they said they're getting 79 cents.
Yeah.
So they got a raise. Anyway, that's such bunk. It's been disproven over and over. Women do not get less. They'll find one obscure, one red herring, and they'll run with it.
Oh,
like the smelly, a smelly fish, and they'll just keep running. And this is, see, look, everything's a red herring with them. And that's just another excuse for the government to interfere in the free market.
Well, yeah, I agree. But the point being is that either one of these 2 amendments will never make it past maybe an initial discussion, because, one, you're not going to get 3/4 of the states to even entertain this stuff.
No.
And so this is
a lie. It's a lie.
Yeah, and this is what they do. They have these safe issues. So I call them safe issues. Okay, immigration is a safe issue with the Democrat Party because they can use it to divide. And they can talk about all the need for reform and everything else. They have no intention of doing anything with that because let's say they got their way, and we said, okay, you know what? Tomorrow we're gonna grant every single illegal in this country citizenship. They've now lost the entire agenda or the platform that they need to keep people going to the polls. Yeah. These issues, this racism thing. This isn't about. If we came out tomorrow and had yet another law that said it's against the law to kill anybody black, okay, let's just that's what So what? It's like they don't want that because blacks.
It's already against the law.
It's already against the law.
Yeah. But if we specified it, here along that line, I thank you for bringing that up, Joe. Look at this. If we say, when did killing somebody, when would the difference become, to prove murder? If you're in a court of law, prove murder. First degree murder is what? Willful intent, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, premeditation, yes.
Yeah, premeditation and willful intent. So what's the difference between murdering somebody with willful intent or malice and a hate crime?
Oh yeah, well, I'm totally against the whole hate crime thing because I don't know, but murder isn't done out of love.
Yeah, see, there is no difference. That's exactly the point.
There's none. What it does is raise one individual or group of individuals' value above another, and again, that's against the law. So we're supposed to be looked at equally under the law. So you're saying that if someone who's in the homosexual lifestyle, all of a sudden they get killed, and somebody might have said something, so of course they all know the motivation, so they know everyone's heart. They said, "Oh well, see, it was a hate crime."
Yeah.
Well, come on. What was done down to the gosh, I'm sorry. There's been unfortunately so many shootings against police in Dallas. Okay, he was black. He hated whites. He hated white police. He was going to kill him some.
Yeah.
And so what happened? So that's a hate crime according to them. Oh no, we're not going to prosecute that because he's dead. It was a hate crime. Say what it is, because you can't pick and choose. This is all. It has nothing to do with reality. It has nothing to do with fairness or justice. What it has to do with putting one against the other. It's got to stick it. I'm sorry to say this, to whitey.
Yeah,
because obviously we're responsible for every evil on this earth.
What it does is it allows you to take the definition of first-degree murder, which is intent and malice and willful, intent and thought and everything, and politicize it. It allows you to put it in its own little special category, so we can say it wasn't bad enough that you shot somebody because you didn't like them or that you have malice towards them. It was because of the color of their skin, and so that's a separate crime above. Well, the person is just as dead either way.
Right.
And the intent is just as bad either way. So this whole idea of politicizing hate crime and making it some kind like it's worse than just killing somebody, but then again, that's the way they think because that's how their base responds. Tonight we're going to get paraded out there. 3 of the mothers of 3 of the kids that got shot for doing things they shouldn't.
Because they already did their whole.
Have they already?
I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but they already did that whole horseshoe-shaped thing with all these mothers of all those that got shot, and I listened. That's the only thing I had to hold my nose and close my mouth from gagging.
That disappoints me. I thought that was going to be the primetime show tonight.
No, that was a disgrace. It was really a disgrace.
Yeah.
They made it look like, if you're black, you have to be worried in this, blah, blah, blah. It was all it was all black victimhood, and it's all whites, and it's all the police. And that's what Mosby has done now that they dropped the charges. She went on a crying, she did a press conference to say that she thought there's obvious bias.
Yeah,
black judge.
She blamed it on the cops again.
The cops. How many of them were black? Several of them were black. Okay, the judge was black, so there's obvious bias. What? Black on black? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised she didn't blame the police union. But they can't do that because unions are the lifeblood of the Democrat Party, so they can't go after that,
Again, and if you ever get rid of Citizens United, then you have to get rid of unions given to political campaigns.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, because
I think we should do away with all civil unions. So.
Yeah, and let's do away with George Soros while we're getting rid of the Koch brothers. Okay?
Oh, his age he's getting up there. His time is, he's got 1 foot on a banana peel and 1 in there already, so it's coming.
Well, yeah. Well, it's going to be. I'm sad that I missed that. I thought it was going to be the prime time event tonight.
You could check it out. I mean, I'm sure they've got video all over the place on that. But that's the only thing I wanted to see what they were going to do and look at the difference. I mean, the difference between the two parties has never been so huge. Okay, to use a point phrase.
You didn't want to see Bill Clinton give us his love story for Hillary?
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh, I could. Yeah, could you imagine the man who dehumanizes women is out there trying to make the case for her humanity?
Well, I
chronological thing, but he left out the year 1998.
Yeah,
interesting.
I got to tell you, I started to watch his speech. I got 3 minutes into it, and I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm reading.
Could you imagine? Yeah. He left out the humanity that in her as she lied about a video. As we lost 3 veterans. Okay, of the 4, 3 were veterans. Mm-hmm. So she lied about that, then lied to the face of the of the families lied right to their face, and then now calls them liars.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about that's compassion.
Well, now what I'm expecting on Thursday night when she comes out, I'm expecting her to have whatever she's wearing, that $12,000 Armani jacket or whatever it is she's wearing, should have across it in bold letters the new and improved Hillary Clinton 30% more. Okay, something like that, because that's what Clinton tried to do last night. The real Hillary. The real Hillary. You just don't know.
She's looking like a bowling ball.
We got to go to break right now. When we come back, we'll continue. We have with us Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame. He owed money to the IRS, and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get the Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world. Then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? It can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474.
Hey, we're back, and you're listening to the Conservative Syndicate. Visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, and you'll find out everything and anything you need to know about our show, the people that do it, and why we do what we do. Theconservativesyndicate.net. We've got with us Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio doing her weekly segment with us. And I want to kind of switch gears here a little bit onto Bill Clinton's speech last night. Like I said, I couldn't stand watching the guy. So even reading the transcript today, I gagged a couple times. That's how bad. I just like, oh my goodness, gag me with a spoon, that kind of stuff. There's a couple of things in here that he mentioned or he makes comments about. And one of them here I thought was kind of interesting, only from, it seems like when we're talking about Democrats and they have these issues and everything else that they are out there promoting, most of the issues are really what, like I referred to earlier, safe issues. They're issues that they bring out to the forefront, but they don't really want to accomplish too much with it because then that takes away their ammunition. It takes away what they use to keep everybody in an uproar and divide and conquer and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things Bill Clinton talked about, I'm going to read you the exact quote here. He said, she launched a team. This is really important today. She launched a team to fight back against terrorists online and built a new global counterterrorism effort. We've got to win this battle in the mind field, I guess, referring to psychology or whatever. And as I rolled that over in my head, I'm like, okay, we're going to fight these guys online.
Think about that.
And I'm like, okay, what is it going to be? Do we create a game that everybody can play? Kill the terrorist or behead the infidel or something like that?
John, find the terrorist online in your own little.
Yeah, we can have Twitter wars.
World like Pokemon. Yeah.
Are we going to have Twitter wars? Is that how we're going to do it? It's like, how are you going to counter anything? And by the way, everybody admits it was a complete failure. Okay, the White House admitted. Josh Earnest came out at a press conference at some point in time and said, we didn't have the resources to do it.
Right. Okay. So think about that. First of all, think about the audience that he's speaking to.
Yeah.
We have an IQ collectively of about a grapefruit, so they're going to pretty much believe anything he says. He's a very good, I loathe him, but he is a very gifted orator, and so he knows exactly how to speak to that audience very clearly. So he knows who he's talking to, and has he ever told the truth? Wagging his finger. Yeah. Has he ever told the truth?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Josh Earnest there for a minute.
Yeah, Clinton.
Probably
the Clintons they wouldn't know the truth if it smash mouth them, and come on.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. There's a whole thing about. We were talking yesterday in the show about this article that came out from Politico. And basically what they were asking is, what is it about Hillary Clinton, if she's so damn accomplished and she's so good at what she does, why does she have to lie all the time? And why, and why do people think she's an incurable liar? That was the question. Why do people think that she's an incurable liar?
Because she is.
She is, right? Simple.
Occam's razor, yeah, because she is.
Yeah, because she is.
She is a liar. Yeah. Why does she have to lie? Because she has no accomplishments. Trail of blood, maybe, but no accomplishments, if you want to call that an accomplishment. The thing that got me in that article, what was that on? Where was that? On, it was New York Post, I think. He said when he met her, he was smitten. I'm going to hurl. He was smitten with her mind and conviction and courage, of course. Well, that's the translation. She's a relentless opportunist who tramples on the blood of patriots and babies to get what she wants. It was a perfect match.
Well, yes. Go ahead, Joe.
It was just, when he said when he saw her from across the room or whatever, and he was just close enough to almost touch her back, and he thought, maybe I better not do that. That was probably the only time he ever resisted touching a woman.
Well, I heard it, and this is what I heard when I read it. I didn't hear it when I read it. This is what I heard. She had that come hither look. I mean, it was like, okay, well, the line must have worked on Hillary. It didn't work on anybody else, I
got to get something to drink.
I know. I haven't been this repulsed about listening to somebody's love life since when I was a kid and walked into my parents one night. It was that kind of in the gut feeling, like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up, that kind of stuff. But I just thought this whole idea of why didn't we ever hear about this terrorist website? But here's my thought on it, and I'll let you guys.
She wasn't running yet. That's why.
I'll let you guys have fun with this. I think the reason why they didn't have enough resources to man it is because everybody's either dealing with her emails, or on the other side, they're all sending out all these emails to me about the Clinton campaign. You know how many Clinton emails I get every single day from the number of people that send emails out in the Clinton campaign every day is just it's mind-boggling. I get 6, 7, 8 of them within every hour, and they're all signed by somebody else. I know Hillary isn't signing them. I know Joe Biden isn't signing them. I know Michelle Obama isn't. But somebody's sitting at a desk somewhere generating these things. And if these people maybe had been put over on the terrorist website, maybe they could have done a little bit more. I just don't see any sense in reasoning and thinking that you fight terrorism online.
Well, no worries. Just Clintonize them.
Well, just delete them. Just delete them.
Delete them. Yeah, and then wipe your server clean.
In fact, one of the greatest. I saw a really good meme today. Hillary Clinton standing up there saying to Donald Trump, "I want your tax returns," and Donald said, "I emailed them to you." So.
Oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait for these debates. I really can't, because he's not a politician, and he can get pretty snarky, which I like.
Yeah.
It's very New York, and he'll give it back to her, and he's got a whole lot of ammunition, as you well know. He's got a lot of ammunition on her.
Yeah, well, I was listening to some of these other speakers. I think it was Cory Booker that referred to the fact that, or it might have been Elizabeth Warren, or a combination of the two, talking about how
Donald... ugly.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. I know what I wanted to share with you guys. We got just a couple minutes here before the break. I share this with you. It was a commercial I saw this morning. And what it is it shows different women, just shots of women looking straight on in the camera. And it says underneath it, he called her a pig, and he called her fat, and he called her this. And now these are women nobody recognizes, right? Right. And so the whole commercial is about how Donald Trump demeans women. Now, the context of it is that he was calling all women fat, all women ugly, everything else, where he wasn't doing that. Rosie O'Donnell is fat and ugly, okay?
It's fat and ugly, yeah. I'll say it.
So then, but anyways, that's how they're playing this stuff. Yeah. It's the same thing with the speeches here, is they're taking direct comments that he makes about a person or persons or group, and they're just saying, hey, he's saying it about you. He's saying it's all about you guys. It's not about, somebody that like Rosie O'Donnell, who is just, that woman is pathological. I mean, she's weird. She's just strained weird. Now, and that's not because she's a lesbian. It's just she's weird,
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that commercial, I just laughed at it. I go, wow, I saw it in a doctor's office this morning. That's where I saw it. And so it's like, okay. And I always ask the clerks up there, the desk people. I go into these doctor's offices, and I said, what is it with you people that you all think The View is worth looking at? Every doctor's office I go to, you got The View. I'm like, who the hell cares what Whoopi Goldberg thinks? Or Joy Behar or any of these other people.
Oh, gosh, I can't stand Joy. I thought she was gone. She's like ancient. Why doesn't she get off there?
Yeah. And Behar keeps resigning. She keeps quitting and then coming back. I don't know what her... there you go. There's a bipolar.
Yeah, Behar is a disgusting individual. And what's really typically left is that she allowed people to think that she was Jewish because it got her into more places when she was Italian.
Okay, she learned from Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, there you go. It's in the blood.
Okay, guys.
That must mean she also wears feathers in her hair.
We got to go to a quick break here, our short break. We'll be right back with Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio. Stay with us.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
You're listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, where we educate, inform, and engage you, our listening audience, on the politics of religion and the religion of politics. We've got Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio with us today doing her weekly segment, and we're doing a little of our own fact-checking, our own little vet system here. And vetting system here on the Conservative Syndicate consists of this. I say what I like, and I let my contributors say what they like, and we don't care what anybody else says. Okay?
We're right or wrong. That's
right.
First, but get over it.
And we're never. You'll never accuse me of being unbiased. That doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Now here's the next one. This one really got me. This one really got me. I wish we had time to go through all of them, but I'm picking the ones that really stick out to me. Bill Clinton says he commended Hillary Clinton for helping win health care for 8 million children as First Lady of the United States. In 1997, she, along with Ted Kennedy, promoted this Health Care Act, a children's health insurance program. And the way the fact checkers rated it was, yes, this is true. This is a true statement. Now, my only thing is, and this is a big thing with them, the children, I call them the human shields. Let's float the children out there, and listen. Everything is about the children. Okay, everything is about the children, and yet I'm just curious how many abortions have been done since 1997 that Hillary Clinton also condones. What do you think, Audrey?
Well, that's it. See, it's all about the children. They just left out part of the sentence. It's all about aborting the children.
Yeah.
More children are killed. More children are mutilated. More baby parts are sold under people like Hillary Clinton. So, if she signed on to something like that, it was just, of course, to bet. It was politically expedient to make it look like she had done this for children. That's the children that were able to escape from the womb before her and her ilk could get to them.
Well,
what's the majority of those children that are aborted? They're more in the black community than any other place.
Right. So maybe that's why they need illegal immigration to replace all the children that are aborted.
That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, because they aborted them, and now they're going to flood us with ill-educated, because they are.
Right.
Remember, it's a third world country.
Right.
That in countries that they're coming from to do whatever kind of labor. They're killing our market because they're doing it. Well, I won't even go into that because my head will explode.
Yeah, I get you there.
Of those that businesses have been using them and they should be out of business. They should lose their business license for using illegals and driving the wages way down. And let me see, killing American jobs, huh? Jobs Americans won't do. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I get you because right along that same line, of course, is Cecile Richards, CEO of Planned Parenthood, talking about Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump not only calls women fat pigs and dogs, but he wants to punish women for having abortions and says pregnancy is an inconvenience for a woman's employer. Okay, now, all this stuff Trump has walked back on, but it's irrelevant. The point is that the way she played the comment, the following comments, the follow-up comments along with this, is that Planned Parenthood is all about women's health. See, that's how they sell it. It's not, no, we're not killing babies. We're helping women. Okay? Yeah. And, that's the whole thing. Now, along the same line here, Cecile Richards talks about how Donald Trump wants to defund Planned Parenthood. And, well, I personally go, I'm all for that.
He's going to. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the thing is, I saw this, and I hope I can get this out here in a few minutes we have left to get your comment on it. I saw this little discourse in here. It has how the money reaches Planned Parenthood, the federal money. It says federal funding reaches Planned Parenthood through two sources, one known as Title X and the other one as Medicaid. Under federal law, Title X funds may not be used to pay for abortions. Medicaid, however, does permit the funding of abortions in certain cases. The Hyde Amendment in 1977 allowed Medicaid money to fund abortions in cases of rape, incest, or protect the life of the mother. Now, that was the original argument for the legalization of abortion, was the health of the mother. But the health of the mother is left to the decision of the doctor. So if the doctor says, well, it's going to be unhealthy for this woman to have a baby because she'll have to actually do something to take care of it, then it justifies having an abortion.
Yeah, so he makes that decision. Of course, the fact that he's going to make money from that, well, that doesn't count, does it?
Yeah, that would be no incentive to do that. Okay?
Sure. He shouldn't recuse himself from anything, from a decision like that, right?
Yeah, and it goes on to say this. It says the Hyde Amendment to protect the mother, blah, blah, blah. Yet, 17 states have expanded their exceptions to include medically necessary procedures, causing some to question whether groups like Planned Parenthood are performing taxpayer-funded abortions in violation of the law. And so the money is being rechanneled, or it's being laundered through this whole concept of women's health. Yeah. And you combine that with the fact that even Trump has blown it by saying, oh, yeah, but they've done so much for breast cancer. And Planned Parenthood hasn't done anything for breast cancer.
That's what he's been told, yeah. He just like he walked back to some of his other comments before, as more he was informed, the more then he made a decision to defund them, and he will. But, yeah, you know what? This whole thing, we have to have some control over where our tax dollars are going. We have no control at this point. We think we do, but we don't.
No,
when it comes to abortion, we don't want it. We've had enough of it.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
Yeah, I don't, and it's so clouded. Everything is so clouded today. Nobody comes out and says, okay, well, we have a piece of legislation here, and we want to do this, this, and this, and it's going to cost this much to do it. It's all, it's all about the issues. The issue becomes the center of the debate and the argument, and not the context or the content of the legislation itself. It's like, this is what we're trying to accomplish with it, not what is it going to actually do. And that's, to me, on both sides of the aisle, that's what really just jerks my chain, is that just give me some clarity here, okay? If you need a lawyer to read Obamacare, as the left told us, nobody has the time to read this thing, well then, if you have to have a lawyer tell you what's in it, then you shouldn't even be entertaining the idea of debating it or passing it.
Well, no one read it anyway, John.
Yeah, I mean, but how do you debate something if you don't even know what you're debating? They're not debating whether health care is affordable. They're debating as to who should have it, and then what it should entail, but not what the health care is, not what it contains. It's just the issue of whether or not the government should be doing something, rather than what is the government actually going to do.
Yeah, well, that's it. See, it ends up being, what is the government going to do with it? What is the government No, the government needs to take their digits out of all of this.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah, we need a massive reformation here and return to federalism. We need to get off the federal dime here and let states run their own show. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. Okay, Audrey. Hey, we're out of time. I wanted to give you time to plug your show this week. Who you got coming on?
My brain is I have actually one guest is joining the lineup that I haven't had before. How many of you guys know who Steve Camp is?
I've heard the name.
The singer?
Yeah.
Well, from the 80s and the 90s. No?
No.
Christian. Shame on y'all.
I'm sorry, what was the name again?
Steve Camp he was a Dove-nominated artist. Well, and he's back in the studio as well, but he happens to be a constitutional conservative. He's brilliant.
What was the name again, Audrey?
Steve Camp.
Yes, I do remember him.
Aha!
Yeah,
he's going to be on, and he's a constitutional conservative. He knows his stuff, knows his constitution. He's also a pastor down in Florida, as a matter of fact. Yeah. But he's so spot on. Plus, General Valley will be back with us, and Dr. Andrew Boston, too. We got some hot topics.
All right. You guys, you can catch Audrey's show. She usually posts it, on Thursday afternoon, right?
Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. on the left coast.
Okay. Thank you so much for reminding me of that.
I'm sorry.
See, I can't say that about it. I can't refer to the East Coast as the right coast, though. Because
that's true. Yes, we are right, but anyway, not all of us. Not all of us. Yeah,
not all of it is.
For others, as we're leaving here, as I'm leaving, I just want to throw this out there. If you haven't seen Clinton Cash, which I have, last month, but if you haven't seen it for free, you can see it on Breitbart.com. For your friends who are confused about whether to vote for Hillary or not.
Yeah, and Joe sent me the link to it. Then I've downloaded it. I've got to watch it here. I got to get this done. I want to watch it before the end of the week.
Incredible.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, dear. We're so glad that you took the time to come on. And
it's my pleasure. Great pleasure.
Thanks, Audrey.
All right, Audrey.
God bless you guys.
Okay, God bless you. Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. And that means, of course, time for the Edwards Notebook. And then we're going to pay some bills. And then we'll be back. And we're going to continue our conversation here. I'm not quite sure where we're going to go in the next hour, but you can be rest assured it'll be worth sticking around and listening to. So we just stay with us here, right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
The night Ted Cruz became Tiny Ted. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, no one in his or her right mind can deny the rancor that has transpired between Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump and contender Ted Cruz. Both men are guilty of slinging verbal arrows at each other during the often highly contested primary season. But the last time I checked, no matter what disagreements they may have with Donald Trump, the future of the United States is at stake. America is in the throes of an 8-year effort by President Obama and his fellow progressives, along with some Muslims, in many high government positions to fundamentally do away with American greatness. So to see Ted Cruz go against his own pledge to endorse the GOP nominee, no matter who it is, only continues the negativity storyline and takes away from the mission of uniting the party and preparing to defeat Hillary Clinton, who represents, at the very least, a third wretched term of Obama, and the possibility of harming our republic beyond repair. Ted Cruz has proven to be an egotistical, petty little man who, I believe, has proven beyond a doubt that the voters made the correct choice.
Well, isn't that special?
I'm Ron Edwards.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right. General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
All you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet. Saying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall, a separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Hey, we're back. We're back. Hour 2 right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. And I am your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And I hope you enjoyed that first hour with Audrey Russo. I like having Audrey on the show. She brings a nice, just a nice atmosphere about her. There's just I just like her whole demeanor and everything about what she does and the way she does it. So and we're lucky to have her as one of our contributors here at the Conservative Syndicate. I want to follow up a little bit here, just so I don't sound like I'm just the white man ranting kind of thing here. We were doing a little bit of fact checking on Bill Clinton's speech here, given yesterday on his wife's behalf. Trying to extend that coattail just a little bit longer, one more time, to get her into the White House and keep him in the White House. God help the interns if this man is set loose amongst the halls out there again. And one of the things we had talked about was the abortion thing. And what Bill Clinton was touting was the fact that 8 million children now were covered under what was it called? What was that?
The Children's Health Insurance Program?
Yeah, the Children's Health Insurance Program. Okay, I lost it on my notes here. But anyway, probably because I'm looking in the wrong place for it, okay? The Children's Health Insurance Program, enacted in 1997. And Bill was trying to make it like it was her, her thing. She was out there. She's the one that spearheaded this and everything else. It really wasn't. That was not really the case. She teamed up with Ted Kennedy and some other people, and she helped push it through. Okay, we give her that, all right? But in the same sense, I wanted to just give you some numbers here in terms of the number of abortions. Now, Hillary Clinton is probably one of the strongest advocates for abortion. She calls it the women's right to choose. And people like her and Cecile Richards, the CEO of Planned Parenthood, like to refer to it as women's health. Okay, they don't want to call it what it is, which is murdering babies. But since 1973, when Roe versus Wade legalized abortion in this country, there has been 57 million. And this is only up to January of this year, okay? I don't have stats after January of this year. 57,762,169 abortions. Now compare that to 8 million children getting health care in 1997. And what it really tells you is that, that was the same time, it was shortly after that Hillary Clinton tried to launch what was known then as Hillary Care.
Yeah.
Okay, trying to get the universal health care program going, which is now called Obamacare, which is now being threatened, which is now being touted on the Democrat platform as maybe needing a public option.
Single payer
public option. Okay, which was the intent of Hillary Care and was the intent of the Children's Health Protection Program, or whatever they call it.
Which was the intent of Obamacare.
Right, and so it's that leftist strategy of just moving in increments sometimes, and eventually just wearing everybody down. You repackage it enough, and you say it enough, and you throw it at people enough, they begin to buy it. And so the essence of what Bill Clinton is saying is that she's an advocate for children. So, it all takes a village and all this other crap. And she is a strong protector of the family and this, that, and the other. Well, since 1973, 57,762,169 abortions. Now, let's go just from 1997 when she touted this, okay? And by my calculations, we're talking about almost 30 million abortions. Okay, so somehow that just seems to overshadow 8 million kids getting health care in 1997. And Planned Parenthood, since they took up the abortion mantle, and they went from the American Birth League when they were originally founded by Margaret Sanger.
Margaret Sanger, yes.
Okay, and the idea was not abortions in the beginning. In fact, Margaret Sanger was actually anti-abortion.
No, it was eugenics.
She was into eugenics. She was into sterilizing people, especially Negroes, so that they wouldn't reproduce because they were a burden on society. Okay? People that had disabilities, they shouldn't be allowed to reproduce. Blacks should not be allowed to reproduce. So it was initially a contraception thing. It was like, birth control. That's basically what it was. It went from the, I think that's what it was called at one time, the Birth Control League or something like that. Okay? But since they have gotten into the abortion business, Planned Parenthood has done over 7 million of these abortions. Now, that means they've almost equaled the number of children that were covered under Hillary Clinton's health care program. All right? And, of course, the argument, the 3%, it's only 3%. Well, that 3% comes out to about 300,000 abortions a year. Okay, so it's all in the numbers, and that's something the Democrats do. It's something that we may talk a little bit more here as the show progresses, because a lot of numbers were thrown out by not only Bill Clinton, by other speakers. And these numbers, when you put them in context of what they were really saying, you find out they're extremely insignificant as to what they were really intended to be, to portray in the speeches in which they were used. So we'll talk about it a little bit more here in just a few minutes. We got time for Moments of Madness right now. Then we'll be back right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away. Today on Moments of Madness. The leftist elite of Cleveland are breathing a collective sigh of relief. The impromptu safe spaces created at nearby Case Western Reserve University can now be redesignated for their proper purpose, that being the leftist think tanks and social engineering centers that a $64,000 a year tuition promises. These spaces were created to stave off any lasting effects of the dark and divisive vision, as Hillary Clinton framed it, inflicted upon them last week by the RNC convention. In like manner, pundits like MSNBC's Rachel Maddow by now have exorcised any spirits that might threaten their quasi-intellectual state. After having survived 4 days among mostly golden-aged, white, evil, heterosexual Christian Republicans, adorned in cowboy hats and brandishing campaign buttons, banners, and signs, so vile, Maddow felt it necessary to issue a viewer discretion advisory to the ultra-sensitive utopians that view her show before displaying them. But any reprieve leftists might feel right now from the worry, angst, and uncertainty that underscores the Republican Party's chances for success in this election cycle may be short-lived, because across the political horizon another dark storm is approaching. The ominous clouds of anarchy, formerly referred to as progressivism, ascend upon the city of brotherly love. Yes, the Democratic National Convention, which arrives in Pennsylvania this week, will bring their own assembly of ominous demons, led by that mistress of the dark, Lucifer's disciple, Hillary Clinton. But before you claim I need to be sprinkled in holy water, blessed by Jon Stewart, or exiled to the Westboro Baptist Church for insinuating Hillary hangs with Satan, let me explain. Politico's Todd Purdom poses perhaps the most politically incorrect question one could ask about Hillary Clinton in his latest column, Why Can't Hillary Stop Fudging the Truth? Purdom steps up his initially PC rhetoric, meaning fudging the truth, by framing the question more directly. What is it about this brilliant and accomplished woman, described by Barack Obama as possibly more qualified to be president than anyone in history, aside from perhaps Thomas Jefferson, that makes so many people certain she is an incurable liar? In other words, why does someone who many believe is qualified simply due to her presence over 40 years, absent any real accomplishments, have such a difficult time acknowledging reality and calling things as they are? This is a fair question, and one that needs to be answered. Here's the madness. The answer to Clinton's sociopathic nature is twofold. The simplest and unfortunately saddest answer is because lying works. Progressives tout the old adage, the end justifies the means. This is religious dogma to progressives. Progress, by their definition, is moving their agenda forward, regardless of any damage it inflicts upon American exceptionalism, heritage, moral fiber of our republic, and most important, our Constitution. Any collateral damage inflicted on our unalienable rights is outweighed by their belief once they accomplish their goal of creative destruction, everyone will be grateful for the sacrifice real equality mandates. Unfortunately, far too many buy into the means narrative due to their own moral bankruptcy. American exceptionalism possesses its own paradox in that our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. When the concept of freedom perverts from opportunity and the responsibility it entails to entitlement void of any accountability, truth becomes a pendulum of relativity. The Clintons, as well as all true believing progressives, know this and have collectively modeled their entire political lives around perverting truth. The Clintons have made it an art form. Consider 7 in 10 Americans, even those supporting her, believe Hillary is dishonest, is politically and morally corrupt, and can't be trusted. Yet she remains her party's nominee. Clinton supporters rationalize her low approval by claiming Donald Trump is viewed in the same light, with polls indicating Trump can't be trusted either. But mistrust of Trump is based on a lack of political sophistication, abrasive language, perceived sexism, and bigotry, as well as his wealth, not a marked propensity to embellish falsehoods to shield corruption. Mistrust of Trump is also credited to his white privilege, which actually in and of itself is proof progressives have bought into the lie produced by the very circles that claim the moral high ground. Ignored is the fact Trump's wealth was obtained through capitalism, referred to as greed by the left, while Clinton's was obtained while posing as a public servant. The second part of this answer is darker because it involves self-deceit, something found in the character of every liberal to some degree or another. Self-deceit is what ties liberals like Clinton and Obama to Lucifer. Self-deceit is what distances Obama and Clinton from each other, but is also what binds them together. Self-deceit is symptomatic of low self-esteem, which requires creating a world that in reality cannot exist in order to feel purpose. Low self-esteem is what drives the true believer to collectivism. Collectivism sedates the discomfort truth sometimes brings. These sociopathic attributes of collectivism will be on full display this week, as those who have profited from their lies will be paraded alongside those assigned the victim's role that feeds a perpetual discourse of dissatisfaction with God, country, and white America. Clinton will do her best to tout her tradition of lies and deceit as necessary for socio-economic equality. At the end of the week, we will have witnessed in all its delusional darkness the perfect storm. This is John Matthews for Moments of Madness. Okay, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, and I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and a couple of things that really stood out to me during Bill Clinton's discourse is, and actually some of the other speakers. I mean, this is just straight across the board here, really. I'm picking on Bill Clinton probably because it's the easiest target right now, but the ability and the willingness to actually take numbers and facts and even implications or innuendos or something and present everything as gospel truth and always in a positive light. Always in a positive light. And one of the comments, Joe had here some remarks he wants to give us here on one of the comments. Bill Clinton said it had to be towards the end of his speech, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, hold on. I see exactly where that's at in the speech. Yeah, it's somewhat, probably more in the middle, but Bill decides to tell everybody sitting there in the civilized world and they're watching on TV and in the convention hall at the Wells Fargo, that bank building. He goes, look, this is really important. This is a really important point. This is a really important point for you to take out of this convention. If you believe in making change from the bottom up, if you believe the measure of change is how many people's lives are better, you know it's hard. And some people think it's boring. Speeches like this are fun. Actually, doing the work is hard. So people say, well, we need to change. She's been around a long time. She sure has. She's sure been worth every single year she's put into making people's lives better. Yes. And my thing is, has she made your life better, John? She certainly hasn't made my life better.
Well, not just my life better, just in terms of, more money or more freedom or anything else. She hasn't made my life better just by being around.
Yeah, exactly. She has not helped me one single bit. She hasn't helped my children at all.
No.
Because, well, I'm sorry, but we're white.
Yeah.
And that's not who she works for.
Right.
They want to go ahead and they say, oh, we're all about inclusiveness here. We can do this together. Well, no, we can't. You don't include me or my family. You won't include me. You never have. Because we're not the chosen, selected group of people that you want to help so much. I'm using big air finger quotes here. So it's like, no, I don't think so. And then, is she really making changes from the bottom up?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, when we talk about the bottom up, you got to understand that's strict Alinsky code. That's Alinsky code. That's communicator, community organizing talk there. That's jargon from the bottom up. From the bottom up, and from the bottom up is code to especially the minority communities.
Well, I mean, from the bottom up, I mean, she made $3.4 million for 18 speeches.
Yeah, well, here, that's a good point.
Funded by banks.
And this is what I think more people need to hear and absolutely more often. And I'm surprised Donald Trump hasn't seized on this yet. Now, we're still 5 months out away from November. So, I mean, maybe they're gathering all their ammunition together. But the idea here, let's just look at this. Donald Trump is a billionaire. Now, we can argue all night long whether he's a self-made man or not. Some of the stories out there, his dad left him $1 million, which was enough capital to do whatever he had. Okay.
So what?
Yeah.
At least so what?
Yeah, if you can take $1 million and turn it into a double-digit billion-dollar empire, that's the same as saying take $1,000 and turn it into a $1 million company. Yeah, okay. But that aside, and with all the rancor.
So Hillary goes out and she turns $1,000 into a whole bunch of money with cattle futures while she was in Arkansas. She knows absolutely nothing about cattle futures, but somehow, some way, she was able to magically make this into a nice, big, hefty sum.
Yeah, and it goes on even further than that. But the point with Trump is, they're out there telling, okay, he's made all his money on the backs of other people, laborers, hasn't paid the janitors, hasn't paid the construction people, declares bankruptcy, does all these things, and that makes him a wicked man. Okay, no, it makes him a businessman, and it makes a businessman do this. That's how you take advantage of the opportunities. Oh, he was out there, man. He was loved in the 2008 subprime loan meltdown because he was able to buy property dirt cheap. Well, guess what? The 2008 subprime loan situation was created by none other than Bill Clinton. The guy is out here talking about, his great wife and all her great accomplishments. But here's my main point.
Okay.
Hillary Clinton has made $200 million since Bill Clinton left office. Now, most of that money was made during the time she was Secretary of State. So when we look at this and we say, okay, what is more, just off the top of your head, what is more ethical and which is more American? Making money, making billions of dollars, dealing in real estate, having to make deals, and doing all the things you have to do, sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant. Isn't that capitalism? Isn't that entrepreneurship? Or is it just better and more ethical to make $200 million in the span of 8 years selling speeches and favor while you're sitting in an office you were elected to uphold the Constitution and protect America, and not even doing that? Maybe we could sit there and say, well, you know what? If she was a great Secretary of State, if all these foreign policy issues that were out there that are now beating us in the butt every single day, if she had accomplished all this, if she'd reset the button with Russia, if she had not helped bring down Libya, if she had not done everything that she's done with Syria and Iran to help, Obama do everything he's doing, and we're sitting now on the cusp of, on the precipice of domestic terrorism, unlike anything we've ever seen. If these guys continue to escalate the way they are, and in all of that, she's made $200 million.
Oh, gee, John, I don't know. Maybe this is more American. That while she was at the State Department, she claims she has no idea that the State Department is considering the approval of transfer of 20% of the United States uranium to the Russian government, even as the Clinton Foundation was pocketing $145 million in donations from investors in that deal.
Yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud, the Hillary State Department was one of 9 agencies approving to sell uranium-1 to the Russian government. The sale gave the Russians control of 1/5 of all the uranium production capacity in the United States.
Yeah.
1/5. All right. $145 million in donations to the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would the Russians want all that uranium for? Would it be just to make everything glow in the dark? Oh, yeah, glow in the dark as they lob their their nuclear missiles all upon us.
Well, we know they didn't need it to build air conditioners.
How American is that?
Yeah. So I mean, just these.
Russia is our friend, and we never have to worry about them ever again being our enemy or having nuclear weapons used against us. Here's Hillary Clinton making millions of dollars while she says Donald Trump is un-American by making money as a real estate guy.
Yeah.
And he's so evil and mean because he calls some people fat or something. Oh my goodness. I just don't see the equivalency here, John.
Yep. Well, that one fact here, and when you start throwing numbers at me about the economy and jobs, the numbers that Eric Holder's out there about incarceration rate, all these numbers were so skewed. So just like it's just every time I listen to these guys try to throw stats at me, I think of the one gauge by which everything is gauged when it comes to numbers, and that is unemployment rate. And
the unemployment rate where they don't count people that have been chronically unemployed for so long, they no longer count them as being unemployed.
Or if your unemployment benefits run out, you are considered employed. Or if you take a job that pays half of what you had before, then you're employed. Or if you're working part-time, you're employed. Or if you've just given up and retired, that you're not counted anymore as relevant. Okay, so that it's the same way when we talk about it. One of the things Holder was out there talking about was the incarceration numbers.
Oh, did he talk about the gun running operation to kill Brian Terry?
No, he didn't talk about any of that. He talked about the increase and decrease. See, it's really this is the double-sided thing. This is it's like you kind of wonder how is it the Democrats always seem to think that you can have the best of both worlds? How can you sit there and tell me for the last 2 years all we've heard about is the rise of deaths of black men at the hands of cops? Okay, and in the same speech, talk about how drastically crime has dropped under Barack Obama. See, if you just listen, just the superficial stuff, you don't even need the numbers. If you say there's been a rise, we've had a drastic increase, a noticeable increase in the number of black men being incarcerated, black men being shot, black men being given longer sentences than white men, and then turn right around and tell me under our president all these things have dropped. Just that in and of itself, you don't even need the numbers. If you got the IQ of seaweed, you should be able to sit there and go, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right. I mean, here, I'll give you the last one before the break here.
Okay.
At least 181 Clinton Foundation donors lobbied Hillary Clinton's State Department. Public records alone revealed a nearly limited supply of cozy relationships between the Clintons and companies with interest before the government. So says Vox, V-O-X. Big right-wing a source there, right? Vox.
Right.
Not really right wing, I would say. There's a household names at the nexus of the foundation and the State Department for every letter of the alphabet but X. Anheuser-Busch, Boeing, Chevron, John Deere, Eli Lilly, FedEx, Goldman Sachs, HBO, Intel, JP Morgan, Lockheed Martin, Monsanto, NBC Universal, Oracle, Procter & Gamble, Qualcomm, Rotary International, Siemens, Target, Unveiller, Verizon, Walmart, Yahoo, and ZGen all made donors to the Clinton Foundation while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State.
Wow. Yeah, see,
nothing to see here.
Yeah, and so when you listen to these people, you listen to them. What they do is they take an entire issue and they condense it down to 2 to 3 paragraphs, completely void of any real factual backup, other than just numbers that they pull out of whatever they decide to pull up. Bernie Sanders is out there talking about jobs and everything else, but he's pulling statistics back from 2001. and nobody's calling him on it. Nobody's saying, well, that's not right, because the same thing with the crime rate. And when we come back from the break here, I want to talk about this crime rate claim that the federal prison population and crime rate together have dropped for the first time in 40 years. And here we are with Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff, but now they want us to believe that they have lowered the crime rate in America.
Oh, geez.
And this is, by the way, after chastising Bill Clinton for his 1994 crime bill, in which crime actually did drop, but he has now walked back from it. Because why? Well, because him and his wife both made some nasty comments about blacks in those days.
Yep.
Okay, and they had to walk it back. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we get back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Expand your life with Expandovite. When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Expand your life with Expandovite. I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a four-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame. He owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world. Then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474.
All right, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate, Real Conservative Talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And, I wanted to talk about numbers here and the way that these numbers get skewed, the reasoning or the logic, the mathematics behind it, Obama math. You know, he once admitted that he wasn't very good at math, and I don't for 1 minute doubt that. It's he's the kind of guy that, walks around saying, I must have money in the bank because I still have checks in my book, that kind of stuff.
He's not spending his money.
Yeah, it's not his money anyway, so it doesn't really matter, But Joe sent me this article here during the break here, and I thought this is worth mentioning, especially in light with the fact of what we're talking about in terms of the new and approved, repackaged Hillary Clinton, the real Hillary Clinton, as Bill Clinton referred to her, in his speech. In fact, let me just kind of highlight some of the things he says here about her within this context. He says, now, how does all this square? He's talking about, what a great woman she is. How does this square with things that you heard at the Republican convention? What's the difference in what I told you and what they said? Obviously trying to refute everything that the Republicans said, lock her up, she's a crook, blah, blah, blah.
She is.
All right, yeah, we know that. One is real, the other is made up, Bill says. You just have to decide. You just have to decide which is which, my fellow Americans. The real one, meaning Hillary Clinton, had done more positive change-making before she was 30 than many public officials do in a lifetime. I'm still looking for somebody to tell me what they were, okay? The real one, if you saw her friend Betsy Eberling vote for Illinois today, has friends from childhood through Arkansas, where she has not lived in more than 20 years, who have gone all across America at their own expense to fight for the person they know. Yeah, right. At their own expense, my ass.
Yeah, okay. I'm
okay.
sure Wasserman Schultz is doing that too, huh?
Yeah. The real one has earned the loyalty, the respect, and fervent support of people who have worked with her in every stage of her life, including leaders around the world who know her to be able, straightforward, and completely trustworthy.
Okay.
Which leaders are those?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe the tribal, the head of the tribe down in Haiti. What is it, Haiti?
Yeah, Haiti. Where her brother sits on the board of the mining company that scored an extremely rare gold exploitation permit in Haiti, as Hillary and Bill Clinton dispersed billions of U.S. tax dollars into Haiti. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, they trust her big time.
Yeah. The real one who calls you when you're sick, when your kid's in trouble, and when there's a death in the family. I wonder if the Benghazi
won't call for having troops supported and while people are being killed in Benghazi.
Yeah. Well, I understand that there's still at least one mother of one of those who perished in Benghazi that's still waiting for the call.
Yeah.
Okay. The real one repeatedly drew praise from prominent Republicans when she was a senator and secretary of state. Which Republicans were those? Lindsey Graham? John McCain?
Yeah, exactly. Which ones were that? I mean, really? And that's a ringing endorsement. Wow.
Yeah. So what's up with all this? He said, if you win elections on the theory that government is always bad and will mess up a two-car parade, a real change maker represents a real threat. Yeah, well, this change thing, we are afraid of change makers like this. We are afraid of, because we're coming to the end of 8 years of a change maker. Okay, and with this woman in office, we're promised at least another 4 years of the same crap. So
even worse, because she's going to be able to, as she gets in, to appoint Supreme Court justices who will always fight for her point of view and the progressive movement, and basically America as we've ever known it will be gone.
Right, and so anyway. Back to what I was saying here, just at the beginning here. Joe sent me this article from Breitbart. This is my comment here on this, Joe, and I'm going to let you take this and go wherever you want to with it. It's from Breitbart, and it's 21 new Clinton cash revelations that have imperiled Hillary Clinton's campaign. Now, just the headline alone, I'm going to tell you that we've heard headlines this forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, she's going down the tubes. But just the fact that here's what got me on this article here. He's talking about the Clinton cash, right? And it says here, this paragraph got me. Let me scroll back up here. Okay. Below, we chronicled just 21 of the myriad Clinton cash-related revelations. Just 21. We're going to give you just 21 in this article of how Clinton has used her position in politics, not only Secretary of State, but certainly as First Lady, as a lawyer down in the Rose Law Firm, which, by the way, she was fired for unethical conduct.
Yeah.
Okay. Her time as First Lady in Arkansas, when Bill Clinton was governor down there. She's been at this. Yeah, she has been at this a long time. Okay? And she is pretty good at it because nobody's been able to nail her ass to the wall yet. But anyway, where do you want to go with this article, Joe?
I mean, when we look at this, I want people to understand, this Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, the Clintons are using this as just basically a money laundering scheme. Let's go for Haiti. In just real simple terms. Let's say Haiti, you were $100 was given to the Clinton Foundation to help the relief efforts in Haiti. What actually went to the Haiti people of Haiti was $10. $90 went to Bill and Hillary. Okay,
right.
So they were making money hand over fist because they weren't giving all the money to the Haitians and their friends that they got lucrative contracts to help rebuild, big air fingers quotes here, to Haiti. We're also doing the same sort of thing. All right. And so this is what brings me to the ironic point. So we can get this just before the break here. This is from Barack Obama's, his speech tonight, because he's going to be talking to the world tonight. And they go, and here we go. That's the Hillary I know. That's the Hillary I've come to admire. And that's why I can say with confidence, there has never been a man or woman more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as president of the United States of America. More qualified. Well, if she's so damn qualified, why did he run against her 8 years ago?
Yeah. That was the first thing that popped in my head. Wait, if she was so qualified, what were you even doing running? By the way, remember Barack in 2007 when people approached you about this and you said that you were not ready? He was asked about this early on. Mm-hmm. I remember listening to, I think it was Larry King or something. He was talking to him, and they were like, well, you're going to run for president? Well, no, it's not time for me to do that, blah, blah, blah. And boom, bang, bing, he was out there.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So it makes me go, she's the one that he can say with confidence is more qualified. Meanwhile, we know what we know about what they've done with the Clinton Foundation, what she did with Benghazi, what she's done with her emails, what the DNC and Clinton saying, I didn't know anything about that. Bull crap. She knew everything about that.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the person that's most qualified. He admires that. Of course he admires that. He's wondering, wow, I don't think I even could have got away with that.
Well, no.
To sit there and watch these people die in Benghazi and say, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. I didn't make anything. It wasn't my decision to make. They made requests for additional security. And yes, it fell on me as secretary to do it, but it's not my fault. Really, and then the email thing just. Who has done more to hurt the United States national security interest than Hillary Clinton? Now, if you say Donald Trump, you're out of your flipping mind. Okay, so let's go to the break.
Okay, yeah, and just one quick closing thought here. When you think about this, Joe mentioned the $10 for every out of 100, $10 goes to Haiti, and the 90 went to the Clinton Foundation. Let's not forget the Clintons were asked to speak down in Haiti during the tsunami and charged $500,000 to show up. More than 1/4 of the profits that were raised went for them to show up. Yeah, so and they only got $10 on out of every 100 back. There you go. There's liberal economics for you. We'll be right back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate.
All our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
All right, hey, we're back, and you're listening to none other than the Conservative Syndicate. We want to once again just encourage you, take the time to visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. Pick up everything you want to know about this show, including archives, the bios of the team, and what we do and why we do it. Theconservativesyndicate.net. I want to, we're looking at this Breitbart article that was published only 21 things that they have found with major conflicts between Hillary Clinton's stint as Secretary of State and the amount of money that's been coming into the Clinton Foundation. And the one that really kind of sticks out to me here is the number 20 on the list. And let me get back down here. My computer froze up on me here during the break here. I just got it back up here. And it's freezing up on me again.
Here, I'll just read it. If you want me to read it.
Yeah, number 20.
Number 20 is from, and again, you say, oh, Breitbart, that's, we can't go, that's not a good source. No, this is from CNBC, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. Clinton Foundation mega donor Frank Holmes claimed he sold uranium-1 before Hillary Clinton's State Department approval of the Russian transfer. That's uranium, okay? Despite his company's own SEC filings proven otherwise, in a highly embarrassing CNBC grilling, Clinton mega donor and uranium executive Frank Holmes claimed he sold his uranium-1 stock well before Hillary Clinton's State Department greenlit the transfer of the 20% of all U.S. uranium to the Russian government in 2010. However, according to his company's U.S. Global Investors, his own 2011 SEC filing, Holmes' company did, in fact, hold uranium-1 stock, a point he later conceded. Oh, you caught me.
Yeah, now let's clarify this. Let's clarify what this is about. People, I think on the surface, we think, oh, yeah, well, okay, through this uranium-1, which actually was a shell company to begin with.
Yes.
Okay, and through them, they were able to funnel in 20% of the uranium that went to Russia. Now, when you hear that, what do you think? You think, okay, Putin is getting 20% of our uranium. That's not what was happening. The company in Russia that got it was itself being investigated by Russia for corruption.
Yeah, but the thing is the Russian government then took over these companies. So it's going right to the Russian. It's going to the Russian government, for crying out loud.
Oh, I get that. What I'm saying is, had they not been caught by the Russians doing this, where would that uranium have gone? They wouldn't have sold it to the Russian government. It would have been gone on the black market. Who's looking for uranium?
Who do you think's selling it on the black market now? The Russians are doing that. They're selling this stuff to the Iranians, to whoever, the North Koreans, the Chinese. They're selling it to everybody.
Exactly,
so the Russians, they're already doing this.
Yeah,
What this is just showing, hey, Hillary Clinton, guess what? She's selling the pay for play while she was Secretary of State, and then she has the nerve to come out there and say, "Oh, Donald Trump is crooked. He doesn't pay people. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that." Hey, has Donald Trump tried? Has he?
Well,
the lives of every American living in the country? No.
The audacity of it is that the Democrat Party right now is trying to paint collusion between Trump and the Russians for hacking the DNC servers.
It's hilarious too. That's absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. That's so funny. It's unbelievable. That's what they try to, and that's what, and if you go see the Sousa's movie, that's exactly the scenario who plays out. You deny, or you deflect to the people who are actually making the claims against you. You say they're the ones that are at fault. That's exactly what they're doing right now. It's amazing. He has that stuff. He has that down pat. And if you watch what they're doing, it's exactly how they're doing this.
Yeah, and now in line with that, we're talking about a front company. I think this was a uranium-1. This is the one that was up in Canada.
Yeah.
And they were funneling 20% of the uranium deposits out from Colorado into this shell company, which was then sent over to the Russian government's uranium company, which at that time was not actually the Russians' uranium company. It was a black market dealer who got caught. The Russians had him in an investigation. They ended up with the uranium, as Joe said, and they're out there selling it on the black market, everything else. But Ion Telfer, who was the head of that company before the Russian government actually took it all over, he sent $2.3 million to the Clinton Foundation. Now, you just think about that. It's enough that you sit there and funnel money into a shell company up in Canada, just saying, okay, I'm gonna get the uranium up there to them. They'll make some money off of it, and my foundation will be able to launch. But somebody had to know that uranium was going to go from Canada to Russia. And why do we know that? Because Bill Clinton got paid $500,000 to go over and speak to this company.
Yeah, and it's amazing how just shortly after that, this little deal got approved by the State Department.
Yeah. So, I mean, the collusion is all there. And I know the media has been doing everything they can to keep this under wraps. They've let a little come out. But I think we said this before, Joe, that this would be the scandal that would kill the Clintons if it ever really got into the public eye to such a degree that people could see exactly what these people are about. Not the email scandal, not Benghazi, not the classified information breach, because all those things have been played off as, well, coulda, might have, maybe, we don't know. But this you follow the money. Isn't that the rule? You follow the money and you find out what's going on. They've been able to follow the money.
Yep.
And we've
follow
seen
money, you'll figure this out. And the thing is, how much you want to think that the 30,000 emails that Hillary Clinton deleted because they were of no consequence had everything to do with the Clinton Global Initiative and the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah.
Guarantee it. That's what's there. And if they ever come out, which, hey, maybe they're going to do it. Maybe WikiLeaks is going to go ahead and do that. I don't know.
Well,
but we'll see if Assange has got that on there, because that server was hacked way before they took it down and wiped it with a cloth.
Well, here's my deal. Here's my deal on this. Not knowing what WikiLeaks is actually going to put out there for us. But let's just for a moment here, and just say that there's going to be some emails that are going to float out here somewhere.
Yep.
That are going to point a finger to what the Clintons have been doing with the Clinton Foundation. Now, that's what WikiLeaks is telling us. These emails are about the Clinton Foundation. We're not talking anymore about the DNC. Okay, now, I think the emails have somehow filtered through the DNC, maybe, chains or something. I'm not sure how. We don't know how this is all coming out, but we know that this is what WikiLeaks is telling us. This is going to be really, really bad stuff. If what they're saying, if the buildup is what it is, then yeah, there's going to be some real problems here. But let's just say for a minute that there is something in here that completely exposes just one scandal as to what's going on here with the Clinton Foundation. What does that do to the legacy of Barack Obama? Do you think Barack Obama will drop her like a hot potato?
She is the, how did he put it? Never been a man or woman more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as president of the United States. They're all in. They think they got this in the bag, and they've got the audacity enough right now to think they're never going to get caught.
Yeah. So if that happens, I'm just saying, should it happen, I'm just curious how the Obama legacy, the people, the Obama legacy, that's what I call it. It's not the Obama administration, it's the Obama legacy.
Yeah. Here's another thought. Do you remember when the Haiti earthquake happened?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember who got together? We had 3 ex-presidents all get together and pledge their loyalty and everything to go down and help the people of Haiti. You had Jimmy Carter, Bush, and Clinton.
Right.
Now, I'm here to tell you, there's a triumvirate.
Yeah, there's an axis of evil for you.
Yeah, and yes, and I did include the Bushes in there.
Yeah, well, the Bushes, if more people knew just a little bit of what I know about the Bushes, just from reading. I mean, I have studied these guys. And I started studying Bush about the same time I started studying Obama, and for the same reason.
Yeah.
When George Bush began to tout this immigration stuff and everything, and I started saying, wait a minute, this isn't the Bush that I voted for the first time.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, okay, and the one thing I'll thank my mother for, she's the blue bleeding liberal in the family. And we have argued, like I said, we haven't talked to each other in almost 3 years now because of the last argument that we had over politics. Huh. But she handed me a book called A Family of Secrets. And it's a really thick book. It's a long read. I read through that book, and I just went, oh, my God. If you want to talk about a new world order, look at the Bush family.
Yes, absolutely. So, this isn't just one side or the other. It's just not about Democrats or Republicans. No. This is about exactly that. Yeah. This is globalists. Yeah. They want to have one big, giant, happy family. Call it the human race. Yeah. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. But, so, hey.
We're out of time.
I think we give a lot of people enough ammunition to kind of think about this tonight, John.
Yeah, we're out of time right now. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm sure there's going to be more tonight from the DNC convention and other stuff going on. We do have some other news here that we'll get to you before the end of the week here. I promise we will. There's always a method to our madness. Thanks so much, guys. Remember to visit us at the conservativesyndicate.net. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock on the West Coast, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. Prime time somewhere all the time. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life. It only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hako, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.